Great and not.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Other Side of Music. Today, we are interviewing Jeff Batson. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. Robin, thanks for
Good.
having me on.
Absolutely. So, I assume Jeff Batson's your name, and you
It is.
didn't do like a artist name. How come?
No, well, I don't really. Well, I'm not a big enough deal to have an artist name. Now, you know what? Long story short, I am adopted. So and I have a birth certificate name that's different from my name. But so
Oh,
if I ever got famous and needed like a check in name at a hotel or something, I have a name to use.
oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But I'm not telling.
Right. Well, no, you can't tell because how else would you be able to check
Right.
in privacy? Makes total sense. So, you are a country musician.
I am. I'm a country
Okay.
singer songwriter. You move to Nashville where there's real like musicians. You have to be careful saying I'm a guitar player because I'm a guitar owner that happens to play. And
Okay.
and there's different levels. The talent, the bar. If you're a player in Nashville, the bar's really raised. There's a like
Oh,
I'm being funny, but it's no. So I'm a country singer songwriter.
okay. How did you pick country?
Well, I mean, I was I'm 58, so my parents listened to country, and I tell this story often. My mom's parents were my mom's mother was not in good health. So every Friday after school, she would pick my brother and I up, and we had a 2.5 hour car ride to visit them pretty much every weekend, and the
Hmm.
country music was playing. So it was country music of the early 70s, pretty much. John Denver, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Kenny Rogers, all
Hmm.
those type artists. So that's where I got familiar. And of course, then I didn't really rebel, but I mean, my first, I don't know, somehow I got into when I was a kid, got into a Beach Boys kick, and
Oh, okay.
I went through an Elvis phase and liked 50s music. But then my cousin Dave lived up the street, and he turned me on to rock and roll, like rock, Aerosmith,
Oh, yeah.
Toys in the Attic, that album, and REO, Speedwagon, High Infidelity. And
Hmm.
so I kind of got into that during high school and started playing in a band with him, and we did a little bit of everything. So I'd always been exposed to country, but then long story short, when I got out of college, finally, I got a master's degree. That was in 1990, and country
Okay.
music was really, really happening. 89, 90, that whole Travis Tritt, Garth Brooks, Clint Black,
Yep.
Alan Jackson, that whole bunch of artists. So it kind of just made sense to kind of jump back into it. And honestly, the music of that era, the country, sounded a little more like 80s rock ish.
Yeah, it did, actually. I remember that music.
So it was pretty easy to fall back into doing country.
Okay. Very nice. So, you say you live in Nashville now, or you moved to Nashville.
I
So,
did.
did you do that for the music,
I,
or
I
you
did.
did?
I did. I guess, in retrospect, I played it a little safe because I'm a real estate appraiser.
Okay.
That's my real gig. And I was doing that in St. Louis, the St. Louis area before I moved to Nashville. So I knew I wouldn't go hungry. I knew I could make a living and had a way to pay the bills.
Hmm.
But yes, I moved here to do music, to concentrate more on songwriting and learn more about the business, which is constantly in flux. It's a lot different. It's
Yeah.
way different today than it was in 1997. Just from all the income streams, everything is streaming now for songwriters. The songwriter money, honestly, is probably less than it was in 1997. But
Mm.
you do it because you love it.
All right. So I like that you said that your real gig. And for people that are listening to this on audio, I put my fingers in quotes. So, your real gig, that brings me to what I am realizing in this industry. The majority of people have a job while they're doing this, even if they're doing the music a lot. Um,
Absolutely. And there's no, in my opinion, there's no shame in that.
oh no, not at all.
It's,
Um,
you know, I've seen, and I've been here long enough, almost 30 years, that I've had friends that have had record deals and publishing deals and made, a lot of money. And, it's an up and down income stream. So, I've been fortunate to make a living and be able to continue to do this and throw darts at the board. I mean, have I hit the big bullseye commercially and am I rich? No, I'm not. I'm rich in a lot of ways, but not monetarily. But no, I mean, I think honestly, most people that have done their homework are aligned to do something else to make a living and keep the wolf away from the door while they're here.
yeah.
And making connections and doing the Nashville thing. But yeah, even I have a lot of hit songwriter friends that have had day gigs their whole time or have had to go back to having a day job. So there's no, people shouldn't be ashamed. Oh, well, I have a real,
Right.
I've had people say, well, don't talk about that. But
No.
that's
Talk
the
about it.
reality. That's the reality of the music business. It's very, very tough. In Nashville's a very expensive city to live in.
Yeah, it is.
The cost of living here is high. So I think you're smart to have at least a way to make some income consistent. That'll take a lot
Absolutely.
of pressure off. And taking pressure off, in my opinion, again, is kind of helps your creativity because you're not worried about. So it opens up your mind to think about other things, maybe song ideas or that.
Yeah. No, I think that's wonderful advice. I mean, everybody has bills and you got to pay the bills, and like you said, unless you hit it huge, it's going to be an up and down. Um, and it's going to be hard to live just off of your music.
It is. I mean, and that's the reality of it. I mean, that's not to deter anybody from chasing their dream or aiming for the stars, but the reality is it's a very hard business to break into. I mean, and it's constantly changing.
Yes,
It
it
used
is.
to be you get discovered by an A&R rep that wandered into a club you might be playing, and now it's like you have a TikTok video that goes viral, and that's it's just different. It's just different.
It is very different. So, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yes.
I'm a steak and potatoes kind of guy, but I mean, I eat everything. Steak. I'm gonna go steak then pizza. Those two.
Okay.
Those would be
What
my
kind of
two.
pizza?
I'm simple. Pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms.
Okay. Okay.
Yep,
That's a good
pretty
pizza.
simple, nothing exotic. It's like I go to some fancy pizza joint and like look at these fancy, and I'm like, get it, and then I'm like disappointed. I'm like, you know what? Should have just got a plain old pizza.
Yeah. But every once in a while, you got to try something to
Oh, you
see.
do,
Usually, you know what the result is going to be, but
right.
you got to try it
It's
anyways.
like, oh, it sounds too good not to try. Like, oh, imagine, what's that? Guy Fieri. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
you keep thinking, oh, these foods are gonna, the flavor, the combined, but and then I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have just gotten a sausage, pepperoni, mushroom pizza. So,
That's funny. I this restaurant, it's not new anymore, but when it was new, I took my girls and I there because they were supposed to have like these awesome pizzas. And while the pizza was good, it wasn't something we would normally eat. And back then, it cost like, I think I walked out and it was just, I think we just got the pizza and some sodas. And it was like over 50 some dollars. And I'm like,
I've
yeah, I'm good.
I've had a similar situation in Nashville with a restaurant that's nationally recognized and acclaimed, and it's like, gosh, I don't know, just maybe I'm just maybe I'm a simpleton. I don't know.
No, there's a point at which I'm like, because my girls weren't even, I mean, they were young. So I'm like, why am I walking out the door with this huge bill? That's crazy for
Right.
a pizza that we liked, but you know.
Yeah, and they
So
didn't really probably appreciate the, you know,
nah, live and learn.
right, right.
So
The culinary arts, they not really on their radar at that point.
no, not too much. Although when my oldest was about 3 years old, we were standing in the store and she was like, "Can we get some brie?" I'm like, "Oh my God, what
You're
have I
like,
done to
what?
her?" So yes, brie is uh, her favorite cheese, and she learned that young. And right then, I knew that I had kind of screwed myself because I used to own a catering company, so they've eaten all kinds of food, and I'm like,
Right,
uh oh. I'm like, that's good for them, bad for me because I will always be cooking.
right, right. Well, they were exposed to some things that a lot of kids probably weren't because of that.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff, but sometimes I just want to make mac and cheese.
I get you.
Yeah. So, you songwrite or write songs. Jeez. So tell us about some of the songs you've written or who you've worked with
Well, when I
over the
moved to
years.
Nashville in '97, I'd been playing music in St. Louis for years. That area, it was high school, and then I moved away and came
Mhm.
back and started playing music again. Country got big. I didn't really like dabble with songwriting until I was in Denver. I got my master's in Denver, and I was away for
Okay.
a year, living on my own, and I kind of started. I'd taken a guitar and started writing songs, and then when I moved to Nashville, that's kind of was my concentration. Started writing with people, doing a lot of co-writing.
Hmm.
People, because that's kind of the Nashville way is you co-write, set an appointment at 10 o'clock and go meet down at some office on Music Row or, that kind of thing. Started doing a lot of that with whoever and tried to, you always try to write up the ladder with people that are better than you so you can get better.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I did. I started writing with, people that are now have had some hits. I'm still waiting on that commercial hit. I got lucky and Tracy Lawrence is an artist. He did a gospel record and recorded one of my songs
Nice.
called "The Rock," and it was a gospel record, and it got a Grammy nomination. And I co-wrote the song with a guy named Tom Shepard, who's a
Hmm.
good friend of mine. And he and I, when I first moved here, wrote a bunch of songs. And Tom's gone on to have a couple number one songs, and Aaron, the other co-writer, has also gone on to have a number one song and some hits. So Aaron Schurz and Tom Shepard helped write that song. Tracy Lawrence recorded it. Then I've had had some success on the Texas music charts with a friend of mine named Jamie Richards, who I
Okay.
co-wrote with a lot when I moved here. Texas, it's kind of its own little world musically. I mean, it's you can still go down there and make a good living playing music live because there's enough venues. And so Jamie and I had a bunch of success. And then a young lady named Laura Bryna, she's still out there doing it.
Hmm.
She cut a couple songs of mine. She had a record deal here in Nashville. Cut a couple songs, Hometown Heroes, and a song called Make a Wish that the Make a Wish Foundation was,
Nice.
we went to one of their national conventions and she did
Hmm.
that song. And Hometown Heroes actually got picked up and was used by the Air National Guard in a national
Oh,
commercial. So that was a
very nice.
pretty big deal. The commercial debuted on Monday Night Football, which was neat. So,
Ooh, yeah.
and then several independent artists have cut my songs. It's always flattering to get a song recorded by somebody else, even
Hmm.
if they're not a major, household name. It's still it's validation that your songs are good enough that somebody else took the time to record and had the expense of recording. So,
Sorry.
bless you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's flattering. I've been lucky. I think probably 40 or more times my songs have been recorded by other people, which is kind of neat.
That's really good. That is really good. So, sorry.
You're good. You're
How
allergic to me.
does the song, huh?
You're allergic to me.
I am. How does the songwriting work as far as royalties go?
Well,
Go ahead.
that gets really, really complicated. When you're a songwriter, you affiliate with a PRO, a performing rights organization. In the U.S., there's three primary ones: ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. If you look on the door of most restaurants when you go in, there's one of those stickers, or all of those stickers, and so that venue pays a licensing fee to ASCAP and BMI, and they in turn pay songwriters that are affiliated with, whatever your affiliation is, pay
Right.
songwriters for usage of their songs, their performance money. The radio airplay is also via one of your PROs.
Right.
Licenses like the TV and movie placements of songs is a little different. That's more of a negotiated kind of fee. But,
Oh, sorry.
and nowadays, you're good. Nowadays, honestly, sorry, I keep adjusting my glasses.
I do too all
have
the
to use
time.
readers, man, cheaters. But it's a lot different because the streaming, most everything now is streaming. It used to be in the late 90s when I moved to Nashville, people sold records, artists sold records. So they'd have a platinum record and sell 1 million copies, and the songwriters would get there's performance and mechanical royalties. So
Okay.
back then, you could make a pretty significant amount of money as a songwriter with mechanical royalties. If you happen to have a song, even an album cut on an artist that sold platinum, you were going to make some money. But now, and then it went to more downloads, which was still, you were paid for a sale. Now it's streaming pretty much, from a consumer standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. You can pay $10 a month to Apple Music or Amazon Prime, and
Sorry.
you can listen to pretty much whatever you want when you want. And from
Right.
a consumer standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. From a songwriter standpoint, those streaming companies, the trickle down is like minuscule. I mean, one of the writers I mentioned, Aaron, he had a big, huge hit song called Girl in a Country Song. It was by a duo named Maddie and Tay. I think it had 26 million streams at one time, and he maybe made
Wow.
$700.
Ooh.
So you can't make a living. You can't make, and there's organizations like the NSAI here that are fighting, trying to get that changed and a little more equitable. But
Yeah.
at this point in time, it's still, the streaming stuff doesn't really pay much. Companies like Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, Amazon Prime, they just,
Not much.
songwriters, it's a lot tougher to make a living, a decent living, not like scrape by, but a decent living as a songwriter. Hence, right back to our day job. Gotta have something to supplement your passion, your passionary income.
Records are coming back, vinyl's coming back, and CDs are still out there.
Yes.
So, hopefully, again, since the music industry is always changing, that switch up will be for the better.
Well, let's hope so. I'm still the kind of person that wants to hold. I like something tangible. And I love. I've already told my age, but I loved going to the record store and bringing home a record and looking at the art and looking at the credits and where it was recorded. And all that stuff just kind of intrigued me. I know you can track it down now, but it's not as readily available to read as it used to be.
Yeah. Like I like a book, an actual book
Right.
to read.
You want to hold a book. You don't want a
Yeah.
tablet where you got to read. It's not the same.
And be on the
It's not
computer
same.
screen even longer.
Even CDs, had inserts where you could read stuff. Now it's like an MP3, not
Yeah.
great to listen to, not much fun to get all the other extra information.
Right. I think it might get back there. I see more and more people pushing vinyl and,
Oh, yeah.
having CDs at their shows and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
definitely seems to be making somewhat of a comeback.
Yeah. Now, you've lived in Nashville. So for somebody that would, come to Nashville to visit, where would you recommend they would go or
Well,
they
it
should
depends on what
visit?
you're looking for. If you're looking, I mean, of course, the honky tonks, and if you want to hear live music, Broadway's is the place to go. I mean,
Okay.
downtown, there's probably 100+ venues with music starting at 10 in the morning till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
An incredible amount of talent. It's almost overstimulating to walk down Broadway and hear all the bands in all the venues. I mean, and then we have the Country Music Hall, all the typical the Country Music Hall of Fame's wonderful. It's
Okay.
wonderful to visit. You got to drive down Music Row. I mean, restaurants. It's kind of Nashville's become a foodie town, so there's a lot of
Nice.
you know restaurants here, from everything from a meat and three, which if people don't know, that's you go and order one meat and then three sides, three vegetables.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of a southern thing, and to the fine culinary arts, a lot of expensive restaurants, upper scale dining. But do that. I do that. I mean, and there's some good online guides of stuff to do in Nashville if you're looking for something. The cool thing about Nashville is you can be in the country in 20 minutes. The
Oh,
country, like, where's countryside and horses and
that
more
would be nice.
rural. Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and Dollywood and all that stuff's only 3 hours or so away.
Okay.
It's,
Nice.
yeah, there's a lot to do here. Sadly, the Opryland theme park closed many years ago, and that was more for children. So there's not a lot to do. It's kind of an adult town. It's maybe not as much as like a Las Vegas, but there's not a lot of stuff if you're family and have kids to do. The Opryland Hotel does have like a water park, and we've got some water parks and things like that, but it's
More
probably
like
more
a,
of an adult kind of destination than for families or kids.
okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Are you in Pittsburgh?
I am in Pittsburgh.
That's what I thought. I've never been to Pittsburgh. I'm from St. Louis originally, so we always played the Pirates.
Pittsburgh is nice. PA is long.
Right. I've been
You
through
know,
PA, yeah.
yeah. Um, End to end, I think it's the longest state. And I have family that lives about 4.5 hours away. So I can attest to that it's a long drive from one end to the other.
Right.
But there's some pretty cool things here too to do. If you come into town, there's always great food to eat. There's a Heinz Museum. There are, of course, the stadiums.
And it
Um,
used to be, I know it used to be called Three Rivers. Is there Three Rivers converge there? Is that
well, so it's yes, it used to be Three Rivers Heinz Stadium, but now I think it's called Acrisure Stadium, and there was a big kerfuffle because Acrisure took down the big Heinz ketchup bottle,
right?
and Pittsburgh just went
Well, you
nuts.
can't, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
so,
sacrilegious. You can't do
yeah,
that.
I mean crazy. So it went back up. Um,
Money
but
talks.
yeah, yeah. And Pittsburgh is small, but they have like a lot of cool festivals. There is music every. You just kind of got to know where to go,
Right.
um, and it's small enough that you can feel comfortable, but not so small that you constantly run into the same people.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but you
So,
get big concerts and you get things to do. Nashville's kind of that
yeah.
way. Nashville's grown a lot,
Mhm.
but it's still, you can drive across town. I mean, traffic's gotten worse, but you can still drive across town. So it's a small, big town, really.
Yeah. That's it. It's a small big town.
Hey,
You
I
can,
hate,
you
hate to do
the,
this. Can I take a quick potty break?
yeah.
I don't know if we're live or not, but
Um, I'm not sure, but I guess I can pause it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. I don't know how to pause this, so I'll keep talking. Um, For those of you that don't know or do know, I also own rstaradio.com, and we've had a big facelift. Um, we redid the site, so now there's featured video, featured podcast, or featured album that can go in that spot, and featured event. And then our, of course, the button to listen to the radio station. And then on the other page is our contact information, all our social media to follow us, see our podcast, hear the radio, find out about things, and the pricing for the featured spots. And the pricing is, I think it's reasonable and will not break your pocket. He's back.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
So I did it. Nope.
A big bottle of water and too much coffee.
Yeah.
And
So
old
I did
age,
a little.
small bladder. Those two things don't go together.
So I did a little promo for myself.
There you go. Hey, some self-promotion. Nothing wrong with that. So
Yeah.
I guess I met you or got introduced to you through an email from Caden Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about a hard little working dude. Caden.
Yeah. He's amazing. We crisscrossed paths, and then the next thing I know, I was waking up to like all this music being sent over for the radio station, and I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
it's great. People are still sending stuff over. Yeah, that is fantastic.
No,
And then like,
he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have a number of people in my life that still, believe in what I do and try to help. So it's you need people like that. You need cheerleaders.
Definitely.
It's a beat you down sort of business. It really is. On the other hand, like Nashville, you mentioned moving to Nashville, and what I would tell people, it's competitive, but it's sort of friendly competitive. So if this didn't happen for me, I'm glad it happened for you, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
not.
that's good.
It's not like I hate you because you had some success. You kind of celebrate each other's successes.
That's nice to have.
It is.
So you've seen my other interviews, so you know about the little yellow book?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yep. Well, it's your turn.
Uh-oh.
So pick a number between 1 and 352. I mean, 1 and, you would think I'd know the numbers by now. Between 1 and 382.
1 and 382. 380. 21.
Okay. If you could play a one-on-one game against any NBA player, against whom would you most want to take it to the hoop?
Oh, I want to school Jordan.
Okay. Well, good. That was an easy one. The other one was just too easy for you. It was, if you could listen to only one type of music for one full year, what type of music would you choose?
It'd be country. It would be.
Yeah, I figured.
Or 80s rock. I mean, I'm a big 80s rocker because of my age. That's what I grew up in high school. But
Okay. So are you playing anywhere soon or?
if this last year I've concentrated. I've got a new project. I've released a couple singles here and there this last year, and concentrated more on recording than playing. But I do have a few shows coming up that are
Okay.
cool. They're listed on my website, or I promote them on my Facebook page. I'm on all the socials, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to navigate. Like I mentioned, the music business is like sort of always in flux.
Right.
Just like the social media thing's always in flux. It's like so for someone that did not grow up with it and is not, I'm still trying to navigate and figure out what's important and what's not important, and it's a lot different. So
It's a lot.
I had a bag phone, for God's sake. I mean, like a big, huge bag phone. Now it's cell phones, and you can do everything on your phone. I mean, it's like I grew up with Dick Tracy when they were talking into their phones. It's like that was so far fetched, and now it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so tell us about what's your website address?
It's my name, JeffBatson.com.
Okay.
And from there, you can get to all my other social accounts or all that good
Okay.
stuff.
All right.
And there's
Well,
music.
is
You can
there?
find my music out on all the digital platforms, or there's some video. I don't do a lot of videos, but there's some stuff on YouTube. I'm pretty
Okay.
easy to find. So
All right. Well, this podcast is going to end up, clips are going to end up on social media. I believe I'm still figuring it out, but I think we're live on Facebook right now. But,
okay,
anyways, I will tag you and everything. And then the full video will be up on YouTube. And I'll send you the link to your
yeah,
video
I'll definitely share it.
when
And
it's ready.
wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you
Well,
very much.
it's like I say, it's just every day is a different this or that or some new platform or whatever. And staying on top of it. When you didn't grow up with I didn't grow up with a cell phone in my hand or knowing how to navigate this or that, and
Yeah.
now it's TikToks and Reels and all, all that, all the good stuff. But
Yeah, it's a
we're getting
lot.
there.
Yeah, it's a lot. Some days, but because I am a bit older, will put my phone down for the entire day. Like,
Well,
I don't want to hear it. I
sometimes,
don't want to look at it. And people are like, "You didn't have your phone with you?" No, I did not. I'm
well,
like,
I mean, there's a
I'm
lot of
good.
overstimulation. It's like because we're accessible 100% of the time, and we're constantly getting fed news and everything 100% of the time. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I still am a firm believer music is about a great song, a great piece of music, whether
Yeah,
it's lyrical or musical. So hopefully that never changes and music, remains a universal language.
I think so. I hope so
So
too.
too.
All right. So, is there anything else you wanted to add to your
No,
interview? No?
I sure would. I appreciate you having me on, and I sure would appreciate a follow or a like or on whatever platform you find me. Even a comment if a song moves you. That's
Absolutely.
all. That feeds us as creators.
Yes, and you can also find his music on rstaradio.com.
Absolutely.
Um,
Go check it
it's
out.
rotating through general 24/7 rotation, and I believe I still have a song or two of yours in New Music Thursday.
Awesome.
That starts at 8 p.m. So you literally can find him anywhere now.
Well, I appreciate that, Robin, and thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Yes, thank you. And
Well,
I will send the links to you probably by later this afternoon, if not by tomorrow morning.
that sounds good. And when you get to Nashville, you better look me up or let me know.
I will. I need to start doing some road trips.
There you go.
So I
Well, this
have
is a
an
good one.
I have an artist that I represent that I think his style is definitely unique, and I think he would do really well out in Nashville. So you probably will be hearing from me probably within the next 6 months to at
Sure.
least find out maybe about like some open mics or something like that, just
Right.
so people can hear them.
Well,
But
that's awesome. Well,
yeah,
yeah, and if you're out there and got a kid, encourage them. Be
oh
positive.
yeah, yeah, he's good. He's good. So, all right. Well, I will talk to you soon, and thank you for being on here. Have a good day. Bye bye. Okay.